right, let's start wasting time. What's up, Zarel? Yeah, dude. QTC, baby. Get those taxes. Let me know if the, as always, you know, intro, let me know if the audio's subpar here. I think I've dialed the background music up slightly since last time. That may or may not be ideal. Hopefully, I've interrupted all of you watching the new Drama Quest episode. Yeah, Ferngully, I'm still in. I've got a long time left. I've got like seven or 8 years minimum, right? 8 going on 9 right now, in terms of rank. So if you missed the last stream, folks, we are a solo self-found permadeath cleric. We're a dwarf, obviously. We're in G-Fey now, but I might go back to Butcher Block. This is the problem, I think. Maybe it's probably just because I'm not used to it, but there's not a lot of great hunting to be done in G-Fey at this particular level range while solo, if you ask me. You know what I should do? I should probably just go to Steam Font. Frank, what's up, dude? Are you still in Ferngully? Saving it for the next drive. That's right. Well, I simulcasted it, released it on Spotify finally. Poor Spotify users have been like stuck waiting months sometimes for episodes to come out after they go to YouTube. Frank, I heard you had a permadeath character die pretty recently. God, look how I didn't realize I was so far north, like over by Orc Hill. No, I'm in Maryland now. You've been out for 2 years? My goodness, dude. Well, congratulations on your freedom. You know, I do talk about that, Frank. No joke. I basically say, like, you know, a lot of EQ players that you'll meet, especially if you're starting a fresh guild, are going to come in. They're going to have big egos, and they're going to talk about how, like, they're going to give you the old I parse so much better. I'm the top monk. This guy parses 33% less damage than I do. He's trash. He's a terrible player. We need to tighten up our recruitment standards. Why, if I'm the best monk, do I have to bid DKP against these guys who perform worse than me, and they don't do as well as me, but they get just as much DKP as me? And I pretty much trash that line of thinking. Taco, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, see, if we were in Kanos right now, I'd be crushing it. But I think that's a player ignorance factor, right? There's probably some great camps over here, but we'll go to... Oh, I gotta get through L phase. A little scary, I guess. Let's mess up some orc pawns. I talk about that. Yeah, I talk about that kind of at length there. Like, EverQuest is an easy game. If we got every one of those top performing players out of the guild, and we only had the characters that they thought were not good enough to be in the guild, we would still kill all the content with no problem. There just wouldn't be any drama about it. Frankenbeans, good to see you, dude. Hey, are you still streaming? I don't watch a ton of Twitch these days, but I always love stopping in and watching your stream for a while. You've had like 7 characters die? Oh my gosh, 3 died yesterday, dude. I don't have the time. If this character dies, I'm never streaming. No, don't say that. Someone will clip it. If this guy dies, we're going either Ranger or Paladin immediately. Support role on raids is nice, and that respect top raid performer. No one died because stuff got messed. Great. Yes, yeah. Like, each class, I have a few things that I think of that I need from them. Like DPS classes, I just need you to turn auto attack on and face the boss in a timely manner, right? If I see you standing there and there's mobs in camp and you're not doing anything, then I'm like, hey, what the hell? But enchanters, shaman, right? My thing is like, mobs coming in, are they tashed, mallowed, slowed, mezzed if appropriate, mana drained if appropriate? If people in your group are dying and you're a shaman, what are you doing? And are people getting cured if they need to? You know what I mean? Like, that's like 99% of the support piece. And the truth is that most of the time, all those things are happening. Now, you're going to have one Johnny on the spot person in those classes who's going to be like the first person mezzing, the first person slowing mobs as they come in. And they're just that high performing player that is like eager to do it, right? It doesn't mean the other people wouldn't do it, but they get in the habit of not doing it because they know player number one is like gonna get it first, and they're not trying to race them, but they keep their group alive. Like, if you are a player with a heal spell and your group stays alive, you're doing the core thing I most need you to do. And if you're a player with a slow spell and I see slow on the boss, I'm pretty happy. Like, that's where we are. Is boss debuffed? Our player's alive. If that's the case, everything's pretty good. We start looking at deficiencies when that stops happening, or when I look at parses and I see like, oh, shaman so-and-so cast 6 spells tonight. Like, okay, well, if they're leeching DKP, you know, maybe we don't need that shaman, I guess. But like, at this era, they should be hitting their Epic 2.0. There should be some synergies involved, right? Enchanter first time, it's scary. It's scary. I don't know that I would like the Enchanter role. I mean, it's kind of busy, so I would like it. I enjoyed Bard. You know, I think the problem is I've just played with some of the best enchanters, like Kaghadan and stuff, and so it makes me like nervous about it. You know what I mean? It's like if the only person you ever like went to the weight room with was Ronnie Coleman, and I was like doing cardio on the treadmill, and he's like, "Why don't you come over and lift?" I'd be like, "Dude, I'm not gonna lift with you." You know what I mean? That's kind of how it is. Like, I've played with a lot of really great enchanters, and I know I am not that guy. Too ADHD for it. You're on hiatus, Frank and Beans. Well, when you're back, let me know so I can keep tuning in. Your ranger died because you're reading the forums and your mercenary got messed. Man, the mercenary thing just kills me. I'm not here to judge you, Frank, but you know, I'm judging. Yeah, Teak is the move, Zrel, 100%. Well, Zrel, and I mean this in a polite way, you're a real casual player, right? So maybe Fangbreaker would be better for you because it's very slow, but the slow period of Fangbreaker is like over soon. Scary out here, man. A lot of reds. The place I need to go is all the way down here, so let's do that. But yeah, so I think either one will be fine. It's easy to catch up on Teak. You're probably gonna have to get a PL at this point. And who knows what May holds for TLPs, or maybe you're going to go to M&M when that comes out in like the first quarter of 2026. It's not, you know, it's not always easy when they're this deep. Like, we're about to be at level 75 content. There will be new newbie zones and everything with the Serpent Spine coming out, so it's helpful. But I think you'll be without groups a lot. Zygor, what's up, dude? What are you playing, Zygor? Are you on Fangbreaker? Yeah, the outliers do usually work themselves out, Taco. Fellseeker, what up, dude? PoE 2 and Diablo 4. What is the genre of game? What is that called? I should know this, but it just... You doubt you'll ever go back to EQ? Is that because of the lawsuit stuff? ARPG. There we go. I played that new... I shouldn't say new. I played like Diablo 3 when it came out a long time ago. I think I was in the barracks. I had just joined the Navy. And it was fun, but it didn't capture that Diablo 2 feel for me. And... yeah, Diablo 2 I played a lot when I was a little kid, but I haven't really done anything since in the ARPG genre. Episode 2 so soon, baby. Let's go. You got 51 on a few tunes on Teak? Like SSF tunes, or you just like you playing regularly? Yeah, I feel you, Brex. I mean, the number one change that would inspire me as a player to increase my investment and try to get more friends and stuff playing again would be to hammer down on the botting and the third-party software and stuff. And we'll see. You know, I always hold out hope. I'm full of doubt, but I do hope. Yeah, there was a ban wave today, apparently. But the thing is, the ban wave situation, I don't know that it works, right? You got to do it very frequently for it to work. Oh, I have Ward Undead on my bar twice because I'm an idiot. I'm pretty sure when it comes to cheating, right? Behind the scenes, they link all these accounts. So I've gone in my petition history, right? And I can see that petitions from other accounts are linked in the back end. So they link the accounts together. Really, like, accounts are associated with a person to the best of their ability. And then when they detect that you are cheating in some way and you're going to get hit in a wave, which means you're not reported, but you're just detected via the standard detection methods, they are going to suspend a random selection of the accounts associated with the person, not even necessarily the accounts which were cheated on, right? So I had a guy who's like, I haven't played on this account in 10 months and it just got suspended. I'm like, well, dude, you should stop cheating, I guess. You know what I mean? But I've seen that happen. And it's not like he's trying to deny that he's cheating, so I don't think he's lying to me. He's just like, yeah, they hit the wrong one. So I think that's what they do. And then if they're doing that so that they know which players are associated with cheating, when they do these waves, I think it would be cool if they do a wave, they hit all these people, and then they watch and see when those people next get their characters to level 60 or whatever the max is on the TLP, 70 now, 50 in Classic. That's your timeline. If it takes them 2 days to get to 50, then your ban waves need to be every 2 days or something close to that. Otherwise, you're not really stopping things. You know what I mean? Like, they're automating the gameplay, so leveling a new character is not a huge hassle for them. Sorry, I'm falling way behind on chat while I'm doing this rant. Interested to know what you guys think of that, though. Says Igor, you just free trade rule set you liked a ton, but you burned out. Yeah. Well, we've all quit so many times. Who knows what it'll look like in the end, right? Like, they might. There's no reason they couldn't come out with a compelling server again. Thornblade and Teak were really fun, yeah. Solo, oh, that's awesome, Brex. What was your leveling route? Did you go pure undead? Yeah, SSF is like what I do just because it's too easy otherwise, you know what I mean? If I was just playing EQ without any kind of additional rules or challenge, or I was playing EQ and I wasn't trying to be part of the officer roles in a guild, I think I would become bored more quickly. It's the human interaction or the limitations on playstyle which keep me here. Felseeker. Right, yeah, so why am I doing it here? I want to do it on Teak because I've never had a good run of randomized loot on an SSF server. Or sorry, I've never had a good run of SSF on a randomized loot server, and I think it could be really fun. So that's the number one reason. The second reason is I just resumed the leadership of the Teak Faceless Guild, so I'm already here. So it makes sense from that perspective. And the third thing is I'm interested in joining their content creator program, which means I gotta do the retail version. We'll see if even Even someone like me could be an official content creator. I don't know. I'm sure we all doubt it. Yeah, being careful is definitely the way to go. My thing is like I'm never careful. All right, let's meditate here and catch up on chat real quick. I feel that, Slazik. I think they could. Like there's a lot going on. They have a lot of reasoning to do it now. I've heard that waves have been pretty frequent. Like haven't there been multiple waves this past 30 days, Frank? You know, it's interesting that I think they've always been pretty harsh on Overseer. For whatever reason, people who are cheating via even like what we would consider low tier cheating, like auto clickers on Overseer, have gotten hit frequently ever since its inception. Mischief was ruined for you when they let up on Truebox, Starweave. So you don't like relax Truebox? What do you see change? Do you really see a huge increase in the boxing? Yeah, sadly, I think there's too much profit incentive with the chrono and boxing. Like, it would be hard to sell a no boxing server. And just based on what we've seen before, like, they're not enforcing the... Gosh, I'm being so terrible here, but the enforcement of the 2-box limit on Fangbreaker and formerly on Eridune was questionable at best. So if they went for a full no boxing server, do we expect that to be enforced? I guess it would be a little easier to enforce because you just, you know, you block it at the IP level. But yeah. People will find easy ways to get around those things, and they'll do them unless you're actively hunting them down and punishing them. It just becomes a rule that only the people who already follow rules will adhere to. Purely undead, all the time in Lower Guck. Yeah, that's what I'm excited to get my first real undead nuke, because like we're undead, 9 damage, right? It's not doing anything. To get to Unrest and then Lower Guck, this is gonna be fast. Yeah, I wonder, Rhett, but ultimately somebody had to buy every one of those chrono. So it's still money, you know, some of it was just front-loaded, I guess. Yeah, I should get that beetle armor, but I think the beetle armor becomes, like, suboptimal in favor of the red armor pretty fast anyway. I can't keep up. There's, like, there's, like, 50 of us in chat, and I'm already falling way behind. Sorry, folks. Hey, good to see you, Trevane. Big Halberd there. They should. Goodness, I missed a bunch of stuff here. Leveling a box cleric, yeah. A new Rizlona. Do you feel like Rizlona had a positive impact on Eridune? Did the existence of Rizlona result in less third-party software use on Eridune? Shit. Yeah, probably not good. Probably not good here. Oh, geez. I don't know if the guards will kill skeletons here, but it looks like I can strafe run and be faster than these, so I'll be able to just go to the zone line to Akanon. F being careful, 100% there with you. You want to be entertaining, you want to have fun, you know. But that's if you're streaming. If I was leveling just by myself, I might be less careful. You lost your 26 SK because you thought you plus a Merc would kill Chancellor of Dizog. Why are you... What makes you use the Merc? What makes you committed to the Merc? Is it because it's faster that way, Frank? Wow, 3 days apart, Frank. Actually, that's incredible. See, if they keep their foot on the gas with the band waves, like a week or less apart like that, it will solve things. People will stop. You don't like the random or extra loot? I think that is what we'll see next. I think the next server will have free trade and not random loot. It's funny you say that, Ferngully, because on Aerodune, they actually had like a little rule box pop up at character select and say like, hey, you acknowledge these additional rules specific to this server. So you saw increased cheating. Money is free, baby. Nines, good to see you. Yeah, so I mean, maybe that's part of the solution. And then, but the problem is a lot of those guys don't trust it now, right? Because Rizlona was advertised as a server where you could use third-party software. And then they banned them all anyway. Honestly, I'd prefer a server that starts in Classic. Like, we've had a few times where we had a truncated or entirely skipped Classic now. I would like a nice meaty 3-month Classic. Maybe 8 weeks of Classic. I know everyone's going to disagree with that take, but I prefer Classic. It's my favorite part of EQ. Baby number 4, Trevain, congratulations. Oh my goodness, 4. You know what causes that, bro, right? You know where they come from. Level 1 Cobalt run. I don't want to fight that. You're old now, yeah. Yeah, and they can. You just got to not, you have to advertise it as a server where you can cheat, but maybe not automate, and then adhere to those rules. I don't know that they can do it. I think, well, I guess they probably could, because there was that one time that they did a suspension wave only on Burtox, right? But I wonder if that was a problem. Like, there's not an easy way to, like, say, we're going to run waves on every server except for the server you're allowed to cheat on. What do you think, Frank? It's going, Israel. I've actually been 1 month without working out today, which is not good, but I did 11 months straight. I'm rapidly becoming a fat boy again. The problem was my right shoulder was becoming very injured over time, and I kept working through it, and it was getting worse. I couldn't touch my left shoulder. Like, that's how bad it was. With my right hand, I couldn't touch my left shoulder. I was talking to Seeger about it. I talked to Seeger and my buddy Foaming about weightlifting a lot, and Seeger sent me like a physical therapy video, which I've been doing, and one of the things is like I bought these like little physical therapy bands, and I like go like this and do some other movements, and it's actually helped this shoulder out a lot. Like, I've regained a lot. It's still sensitive, but like overhead press was killing me. Incline bench was very painful, and then like pec deck, I could do like a ton of weight on my left one. My right arm, I couldn't move anything. Like, it was just too much. So I was hoping like, okay, I'll take a week off and we'll see how it goes. After a week, it wasn't better. And then 2 weeks, 3, we're at a month. It's still not great. And the physical therapy stuff is helping, but I don't know if it's time. You know what I mean? Like, do I start now or do I try to wait longer? I'm not sure. What I do know is that it's the winter time, which means it's our winter arc, baby. We wear hoodies. I can hide it a little bit and give myself a little bit more time to heal, and people won't see me being Mr. Obese over here. Yeah, if they're willing to do that server and exclude it, I think it would be a net positive for the whole community to have a server like Rizlona. Yeah, I'm getting a so I was always going to the gym, but now I'm working like 60 hours a week, dudes, and it's killing me. But I'm getting a pull-up bar. I'm getting a stationary bike in here. I'm getting heavier dumbbells because my dumbbells, I used to have 35-pound and 30-pound dumbbells. They're not doing anything for me anymore. So I'm getting 60-pound dumbbells. So my plan is, hopefully at lunch, I can run to the gym really quick, get my big lifts in, the core stuff, barbell stuff. And then when I get home and I got a little bit more time, I can do the accessory movements with my 60-pound dumbbells and my pull-up bar. And you know, because I just feel bad when I come home from work and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. I want to be home because my daughter's here, my wife is here, you know, I want to be with them. And being able to do it in this room, my daughter like has her own dumbbells and she lifts weights with me, but for me it's just like playing with her because like my dumbbells are too light. So hopefully doing that, I won't feel as bad. I'm not trying to drop like $2,000 on a Bowflex, right? You know what I mean? But that would be great. It'd be killer. So that's where I'm at with that. Seeger is very fat, but he was once upon a time a talented weightlifter. Yeah, Kettle One rehab science. Middle of your back gets messed up. Interesting. Let's try the shaman here. Yeah, I worry about it. I you know, it's like the pain in the moment doesn't bother me, but what it represents, which is a persistent injury that may plague me for a long time, is what concerns me, if that makes sense. The anxiety of that, like, is my shoulder worse forever? Have I permanently reduced myself in some way? So those are the things that I worry about when I feel these kinds of pains. Man, this EXP is pretty good, man. Snazzy, 12%. Trying to get younger. I'm trying, Brasky. I made a deal, I thought, you know. I made a deal that 30 was it for me. After that, I was just going to work on gear. But I was never going to go past 30. That was my maximum level. But time is betraying me. I thought we had this all worked out. It was just supposed to be level 30 IRL and then alternate advancement farming gear. Just existing. I don't know, man. I was getting too fat. Plus, I think the wife likes it. She was like, you know, subtly suggesting like I should get even bigger, you know. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. Then, you know, obviously I play EverQuest. I'm a nostalgia guy, and I'm that way with everything. So I threw on, you know, some NWO era WCW. You know what I mean? I see Scott Hall, and I'm like, see, that's how big I want to be. I want to be like as big as Scott Hall was. I want to have that. You know, maybe even we could get to like a Hollywood Hogan level bicep. We'll see. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I want to go with my fitness goals. But yeah, I was, you know, if you watch a couple YouTube videos back, right? I was seeing some progress. It was going well. And the crazy thing that I noticed is the way people interact with you when you're really fit is, you know, it's different. When I got kind of jacked and I was buff, people treated me differently. Yeah, I do think about that. I'm like, okay, when I retire, all these, like, you know, my shoulders, my knees, it's that disability paycheck, baby. $60 hours, yeah, it is rough. The real thing of SSF HC I'm interested is post 70. So after 70, will you stop using a Merc? I want to work less, but I feel bad. I can't do it because there are other people who have to work, and I'm not going to be that guy who's not pulling his weight. You know what I mean? I'm that guy who's like, you know, if I'm participating, I want to be a key contributor in anything. So I always find a way to get to yes. And that means people bring me a lot of additional random things. You know, people have learned that if they're in a pinch and they need help, they can come to me, and we're going to find a way to reach success, a successful end state. And I've always said the reward for hard work is more hard work. And I enjoy it, but it was mentioned to me by one of my leaders. Oh, fool. Oh, no. One of my leaders did mention to me that, like, hey, you know, there's only so much you could do. And you're helping people who are like, sometimes you're helping people who are working way less than you, and you got to look at how much you're getting paid versus like, are you doing something for like an admiral who gets paid 5 times what you get paid, and they're emailing you at 10 p.m. with a tasker? Like, why are you working the same hours as them? They get compensated appropriately for those hours. You don't. So those are all things you got to think about. Yeah, the sleep is another one. Try to get good sleep. But do I take creatine? Hell yeah, Kettle One. I haven't taken it in this whole month that I've been off. So I'm sure all the bonus ATP is gone, right? But yeah, I'm gonna start whenever I start working out again. Hopefully this weekend, hopefully tomorrow, I will be hitting 10 grams a day or 10 milligrams a day. 2 tablespoons. Glamour muscles, yeah. 24-inch pythons, baby. Let's go. It is pain, but there's a joy in it, and also the gym time. I never felt like it was a burden. I was never like, oh, I gotta go to the gym. I was like in the gym, and I was like, this is my time. Like, this is me decompressing. I feel better. I like it. Oh, look, Seeger's in here. Yeah, what up, Seeger? I was just telling people about your powerlifting days, how you were helping me out. Look, there's the work, Colin. Ferngully, you're so funny, texting me too. I bet this is a greedy merchant. Dude, I'm holding these abdomen that they can't even sell. Terrible. But yeah, you guys get what I'm saying here. Kind of manage your time. It is, yeah. So I had to go to a training evolution for like 6 weeks during my moving process. My family couldn't come, so I was just like in a hotel room. All I did was go to my training course and work out all day, and I ate perfect. I never had a single cheat meal the whole time. And what I did for fun with my free time was go on long runs for like hours. And when I finished training, I had a full 6-pack, and I was like, holy shit. And then I ate like 2 pizzas with my family, and it was gone. Just like that. Look, these don't even sell. But it was cool to have it for a day. I told all my friends, I was like, hey guys, I got a 6-pack. They're like, yeah, send us pictures. And I was like, nah, dude, I'm not doing that. Coral, what's up, dude? 2015. Yeah, EQ has a way of being incompatible with physical fitness. Antonius Block Party, dude, I love your Twitch name. What's up? Yeah, after this, I'll hit you up, Fern. Yeah, it's weird as you get older. I don't know. Is this like maybe someone here is knowledgeable? This is like a visceral fat thing. Like I find that I'm like wider. I don't have as much of a V taper. Even when I have abs, I'm still a little bit wider near the bottom of my abdomen. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like you see the full thing, you're just not as svelte. Water only bard. Amazing. Gravity. Yeah, it is, right? Like I'm fucking melting. I think part of it, if I could inject some conjecture based on nothing, literally no knowledge or background in this, I think part of it is that they say that, your fat cells don't really go away unless you do something really extreme. So you gain weight, you gain fat cells. And then when you lose weight, they're still there, but they empty them, right? And so even when you lose weight, a lot of those fat cells, the accumulus of all those empty fat cells, they're still there. You know what I mean? And it puts a ceiling on how lean you can appear without some kind of intervention or extreme dieting or drugs. One of the OG. Oh my God, am I old? Am I the boomer now? That's what I'm talking about. So, well, let me spit some game on my next fitness idea. I was talking about this in my last stream. I am mapping EQ units to real life distance, which is 1 unit equals 1 meter, D&D standards. And I want to do a thing where I ruck the distance of like a pilgrimage to every city in EQ. So I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start in the hole, okay? On Eridan, or sorry, yeah, on Erud? On Otis. Man, what have I become? I'm going to start in the hole, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to travel, theoretically, across every city, every single city. And so the very first order of business is we have to ruck the distance between Paniel and Eridan, which is probably like 2,000 units or something. Not a huge amount. I think that's like 1 mile. But I'm in the hole, right? So I'm going to say like I got to do 100 pull-ups. So that week I got to get a 2-mile ruck and 100 pull-ups. And then I want to get across the ocean to Kanos, right? So I think that's like probably like 6,000 units. So I've got to get on that row machine and row that distance, like 3 miles. And then I can be a nerd and I can be fit. Think about that. Think about that. Line Eater, I did this character 2 days ago. So this is day 2. But, my time's a little bit more limited these days, so my streams are a bit shorter. No more like 4-hour plus streams. His 5th fat. Suck it out, dude. Get the scalpel and the shop vac, man. All your fat needs taken care of. I saw that, Seeker. I saw that and like cryo stuff, like certain really low temperatures will kill fat cells too. So maybe that's what I need to do. I need to do like 40 days and 40 nights of no food. I don't think they waited because they wanted Mischief to not crash. I think they waited because they didn't want to do another free trade server. There was a lot of resistance to doing a free trade server, even before Mischief. Like, the devs came and they did an AMA on FOH forums, and they're like, people don't really want this. You think you want it, but you don't. And I think there's probably people inside who were like, not happy that it was the biggest server of all time. But then when it came time for the 25th, remember, that's a big milestone moment for EQ. Jay Chan, my understanding, was like, we're just gonna replicate our 2 most popular servers ever, Eridan, which is Tormax, and Mischief, which became Teak. And well, we saw how that was gonna go. I did a video on it. We predicted all this. We said, okay, Tormax is gonna be 15 people, and Teak is gonna be 10,000 people. And just as we predicted, why'd I grab that rib? I know that rib doesn't sell. But after the second time, and after Fangbreaker, they're going to need a win, right? And they will know now that free trade is an easy piece of the winning puzzle. So I think the next server will have free trade, not randomized loot, not bonus loot maybe, but I think it will have free trade. That's just my guess. Like, they may not have liked it, but at a certain point, those dollar signs do the talking, right? And I think we're at that point. I don't think we can afford to have another underperforming server. extra life bonuses are on right now. It's big, 200%. Go on Survivor, right? Induce ketosis. I was actually getting sick, so I was doing this thing with my diet, which is, I guess, a little extreme. It didn't feel extreme, but I decided the easiest way to eat healthy, meet my protein goals, and not have a ton of calories was controlling protein ratios. So you guys, I'm sure, are well aware that it takes a different amount of calories burned to process different macronutrients, right? Fat, very easy to process. You don't burn much. Carbs, a little bit more. Protein, a little bit more challenging to process. So pound for pound, if you eat 2,000 calories of fat, 2,000 calories of carbs, 2,000 calories of protein, the protein is going to send the least number of calories to your body to actually store as fat or do anything else with, for that matter, use as energy, etc. Because you burn more calories just processing those nutrients. So I was like, okay, well, I like eggs. Eggs are healthy. They tend to be a 10-to-1 protein to calorie ratio, right? If it's 70 calories, your egg is probably 7 grams of protein. And I was like, so to me, anything with that ratio, I can eat totally guilt-free, because a plain scrambled egg is pretty dang healthy from a macronutrient profile. So I found all these weird protein concoctions that yielded 10-to-1 or better, and my whole diet became that. So on 2,000 calories, I was getting at times like 250 grams of protein. Eventually, your kidneys do not like that. let me tell you, started running into some problems. So I had to loosen that up a little bit, get a little bit more going. Oh, thanks, Ferngully. I appreciate that. Well, I plan to write novels one day, so maybe I'll do my own audiobooks. This is Steamfont Mountains, ABQ. By the way, good to see you, buddy. I love the Resource Hunter piece. I think that's so cool. Wow, once a week, 72 hours fasting. That's crazy. So half of every week you're not eating anything. I feel like that takes such an immense willpower. If someone sits a candy bar next to me, I can resist it for about 5 minutes. Like, I'm a very out of sight, out of mind person. My big problem with my diet right now is I'm like a stress eater. So I take a healthy breakfast and lunch to work every day. I come out of work at the end of the day, 6 p.m. and I have a pristine diet. And I get home, and probably in the first 90 minutes, I must consume 2,000 calories. I just stuff my face. Sometimes I just eat until I fall asleep. Almost. Like that's not constant, you know what I mean? But I end up picking at things until I fall asleep. And that is my weakness. Once I get home, it's like I'm decompressing with food. It's not healthy. I don't do anything in moderation. I'm very bad at balancing anything in my life. You all have known me for a couple years now in the context of EverQuest. You see, right? Like, I'm not a moderate dude. I've got a real weird diet, Taco, like outside of the protein thing. Remember, I'm not a fish guy. We'll say that. I'm not a huge fan of meat. Very picky eater. My 200-pound life, yeah. Yeah, dude. So Chinchilla, I do still on rare occasions make cheese balls, but I have substituted some things. Okay, so there's this Fairlife protein milk that is 80 calories skim, 13 grams of protein, right? So I use that as my base instead of what I used to use, which was heavy cream. And then part of my cheese is fat-free shredded cheddar cheese, which is 45 calories, 9 grams of protein. Incredible. And then I also have a a block of Colby Jack and habanero cheddar, which is not good for me. But you know, we're making improvements there. When I was on my really nice diet, though, for the majority of this year, I did not do it ever. Since my move has been completed, I have occasionally indulged. Yeah, I don't use any condiments either. Except for cheese sauce, I guess, if you consider that a condiment. I make like a big bowl of spicy cheese, like queso, and then I'll just take pretzels and I'll put them in the bowl, and then I eat like cheese cereal. It's absolute. I should be put down. Someone should make me face the wall. You know, it's reprehensible, but boy, does it satisfy some primal urge in my brain. Yeah, I go hard on the caffeine. For a while, I had to take a break on caffeine, but I'm going hard on it again. Dude, yeah, it really is. Where it's like, listen, guys, don't tell people about this, okay? It's not good. And like when people come over to my house, I'm like, try this bowl of cheese cereal. It's fucking gonna blow your mind. I force them to eat it. With the habaneros, it gets spicy. $5 and 8% still rocking out here. I don't know if if I'm just getting slower in my old age, but like I used to stream and I don't know how I kept up with chat to talk to people. Maybe I just like pontificated less. By the way, if you're watching this now and you didn't see YouTube, we dropped a new Drama Quest episode today. First one in like 4 months. Talking about how to be a better guild leader. I'm sure some people will be triggered that I would dare to offer such advice. Dude, maybe I do need readers. You know, I'm using this this new keyboard, and it's like a beautiful keyboard that I like. It's got a little bit of sentimental value to me that I'm not going to go into, but it's terrible because there's no letters on it anywhere that are visible, and it's very clacky, you know, and I think that affects me. Like if I had my ideal performance keyboard, we'll say, nice and smooth, and my hands just know where everything is innately, I think I would do better. You know what? What if we used our cleric abilities here? Is he? He's not even too high. Beautiful, wonderful, even. Are you serious? A gnome skeleton? He's yellow too? Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize this. What if I had root on my bar? No. This is the craziest thing, Rhett. I simultaneously released it on Spotify and YouTube. Can you believe that? Yeah, it's not working at all. Wow, we are dying fast. Better guild leader in 3 steps. 1, recruit everyone. 2, ignore any and all drama. Oh my god, am I gonna die here? I got stunned. Any and all drama. Find others to run the guild. I mean, it's not... That is not dissimilar to what my recommendations were. Man, the response time on these guards. Hey, come on. I've never had pork rinds. I mostly stay away from chips. I occasionally indulge in pretzels. I don't know that they're any healthier. They're probably not. But I find that I eat a lot less of them. Like, you can crush a whole bag of chips just because they're so, like, it just makes you want to keep eating, right? But the pretzels, I find that, you know, I eat a few and I'm like, meh, I don't really crave pretzels anymore. What's up, Daedraco? This is a Permadeath solo self-found Dwarven Cleric. Are they doing another M&M this weekend? Yeah, this is on a retail server. This is on Teak. I'll be right back in 1 second, folks. All right, folks, I'm back. Sorry about that. Eminem, EA, Daedraco. You know, Daedraco, a lot of your questions about the stream have been answered by the stream title. How are you liking Eminem so far? Have you played it a lot? That's funny. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The things that matter. Later, Ferngully. Dude, the response time on the guards is not great. I wonder if that's a server thing or what. Like, it's got to be like skipping a tick, right? Like when you tick past mobs. Taco, are you gonna bring them all to Faceless? I think you were saying you already had a guild over there, right? See if we can kill this level 10 skeleton right here. Should be challenging. Put some distance, try to resolve a heal. Oh, he's fast. He's beating me up a little bit. Castle is very small. We haven't really advertised the faceless thing yet. Oh, this watchman maybe will kill it. Yeah, he will. Great. All right, we're gonna origin and go back to Kaladin, and I think we might be able to do Zarchumi and stuff now. What level? Anyone here know Zarchumi's level offhand? Rect, what's up, dude? All right, got some fresh spells here. I'm debating on like going to Crush Bone or doing Zarchumi. I probably want to buy some leather while we're here if we can find the leather shop. Yeah, Biggs, but the thing is, like, we're now split into two on that M&M Guild thing. Yeah, I mean, the split with Sloan and Shuck. I don't think they're definitely sure, but the thing is, like Shuck hasn't done a big faceless TLP push with us in a long time, whereas Sloan was a very prominent raid leader on the most recent TLP server. You know what I mean? So there's like a lot of people who are fresh with us that are very aligned with him. And for me, it's like I'm friends with both of them. Yeah, I think what'll happen is if I end up playing, I'll just plant the flag and everyone will come to it, right? And that'll just kind of be how it goes. I worry that splitting things in half is just going to make us suck at both. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Get out of here. Destroy this. Now what do we have here? This is 3. Leather pants are 5. I think we're good. I think we're good with this for now. Oh, look at that, man. We're swagged up. Very nice. Yeah, see, chinchilla is exactly what what you guys would be dealing with, right, Biggs? Like, there's a lot of people who really love... Like, Sloan puts in a lot of work, dude. A lot of work. And he has led a lot of contested competitive raids with us. Unfortunately, EQ and MMOs in general are very much a, like, what have you done for me lately society. Alright, we're going to do this cracked staff right here. I mean, we were talking to Chill Logan last night. I haven't seen him stream in a while, though. He was in chat, though. I don't give you the cold shoulder, buddy. We're doing a little bedtime process in the other, and like just one room away, so I'm muting my microphone a lot. Because you guys know how the little ones get around bedtime. Right, and it makes sense. And really, this all comes down to it being my fault, right, Biggs? Because I have not been involved in the external to EQ stuff in a long time. I just kind of let it languish. But, yeah, I mean, there's nothing else I could say about that other than, like, I should have been more involved. But you got to put your time where it's most valuable, and I felt like my time was most valuable leading the guilds that were on TLPs and were active and stuff. They'll get over it. We'll figure it all out. What are these, crazed? These are like the, yeah, level 25 goblins. Israel, yeah, we gotta do it, buddy. I want to go to Shenandoah. We do Patapsco up here a lot, and Catoctin, but I've done a lot of long hikes, yeah. I want to do like, I want to hike the Appalachian Trail one day once I retire. But there will be a raid mob, right? Like, it's going to launch with at least a single raid mob, and whichever guild kills that first across all servers is the guild. You know what I mean? You got to be that. like on Pantheon, the first real raid came out, and we weren't the first. We were the first guild to do it, but like an 8 guild alliance formed up and killed it minutes before us. I say us, I wasn't. I did one of the attempts with them, but yeah, killed the raid mob minutes before our solo guild did. And they were blue servers, right? Which means they had months of lead time, whereas we were on a PvP server. We were like significantly newer and fresher, like had less time farming content and leveling characters. Yeah. All right, so we got to kill any kind of little baby goblins over here. These are the PHs. Oh, baby. Yeah, like what a jackpot that was. Rations and a backpack? Okay. Well, we didn't do a blue server guild, so a lot of people were in different locations on the blue servers, but we did a PvP guild. You know, the trouble with getting involved in these development games really early is that you get burned out a little bit, and you kind of lose faith because you see them stuck in the mud for a long time. And so like everything that people were doing for the good portion of the beginning of EA and Pantheon, like Faceless, the guys who had done that multitudes of times over years. So there wasn't anything. Why are you guys social? There wasn't anything new, you know what I mean? So people weren't like, oh man, can't wait to do it. Whereas a ton of people fresh came in and they were doing it for their first time. They were excited about it. They had the energy. We didn't do that. Stop interrupting me, you mean giant scarabs. Want to buy ogre, cleric. Just gotta melee this guy to death. With the two of them hitting me, I can't resolve a spell. One more hit. Thank you. I don't know if these sell for anything. I'll take them though. Of course, no pristine scarab piece or whatever. Does Eminem have like racial abilities? Dang. Bad luck again. We saw a goblin over here. We gotta kill this guy quick. He's blue. A little risky with my current 0 mana. Right, yeah, Biggs. Oh, that's cool. Stoneform sounds neat. That'll be handy in PvP, right? But yeah, I think PvP is more fun personally. I like PvP more in MMOs. I like the additional danger and that element of fighting other players. But PvP players include some of the worst players in the MMO scene, which I don't like. And like the primary goal is to be the best guild across all servers, and you can't really do it as a PvP guild because you naturally level slower due to PvP. And you have interference on raids and all that stuff. So Blue Guild is extremely likely to be the first guild to get any kind of first in the raid scene. So that's kind of where I'm torn right now. Gotta be a little judicious with my mana. If core flunkers Archumi appear, we don't want to have no mana and they roll off into the guards and kill themselves. I think they'll be yellow to me still. What am I doing? Yeah, it took Valeth about 15 days to get 60 played of just like raw play time. A goblin shaman. A goblin whelp. I think it is the whelp. That is a PH for one of the ogres. That could be a PH too. Shout out to my boy Bill on Quorum. Thanks, Dove. A lot of people, it does take 500 hours. 11, he'll probably kick my butt. But yeah, for a lot of people, it does seem like it's taken 500 hours. Valeth is just like a little bit of an anomaly, right? He's a very effective leveler. He was, what, the first guy on green to level 50. So I would guess like people like you and me would be somewhere in that 350 to 400 range. Oh shit. Where's Mr. Bloodforge at? Oh, there we go. Got him. Someone should do like a mod pack for EverQuest that includes full voice acting for all NPCs, but do it like original Oblivion style, like you and 4 other people just get together and voice every one of the NPCs, all their text. I've heard differing things on that, Trevain. I think EA ought to be treated as a launch. I think the real 1.0 launch will get some fresh servers rolled up, and that's it. Right, Antonius? Yeah, do like all the little things in Runny Eye. Would be so good. I should film one of my D&D sessions. I'm a DM for an EverQuest D&D campaign right now. You could hear me voice a rock hopper growling at my party on Lucklin. Goodness, he had 3. I like that he had 3 heads and 3 skulls. Like, it's very realistic. Does that mean he had 6 heads, or do I like take the skin off the skull and then I've got like a floppy fleshy head and a skull? What do we think? I assume 6 heads is just a little much, right? So it's probably a floppy fleshy head casing and then 3 skulls. Yeah, I'm using the original books as my basis, but then it's off the rails. Like I never use modules, you know what I mean? So I concocted a scheme to get them to Lucklin. This is before Alcabor opened up the path to Lucklin. So they're there, they're trapped, they're looking for a way home. And they just go, you know, they say I go left and I tell them what's to the left. They say they go right, I tell them what's to the right. And I just try to make every NPC interaction authentic to what those various factions and NPCs would be attempting to accomplish. Right now, they've had the Inquisitors and the Loyalists from El Ciacata both attempting to court them to help change the stalemate that is going on in the civil war of the Combine Empire. They've assisted Shadowhaven with its recondite bandit problem. And they met the Rishi Saibin, the big named shroom in Plutal Caverns. They had a druid who had a talk with animals spell that is D&D only. So she got to talk with the Rishi Saibin, which was cool. Dally, what up, dude? Watch out, Dally. You might get banned on Twitch, too. The druid, by the way, is my wife. She plays D&D with us every Sunday morning. Why are there so many gunshots going outside my building right now? Yeah, I've done bandit camps in the Karanas, Taco, and I've done thugs and smugglers in the sewers too. My wife has played EQ. One of our other players has played EQ because he was friends with me in Japan, and I had him do Agnar launch with us. And the rest haven't, but they understand that I'm presenting the EverQuest world to them. No, I live basically at the Naval Academy, so it's probably some stupid practice for a ceremony. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get into the Akivan piece. Like, the Akivans have come up, but they certainly haven't met any. And I don't know that they would survive an encounter with them yet, because, they're a relatively low-level party here. They're gonna be seeking Grieg's journal to attempt to find a way home. I'm gonna play it as... Well, maybe I shouldn't. What if they watch this? I'm gonna play it as the glowing orbs of Lucklanite and a planar rift will allow them to open a portal back to Norath and return home, which means they have to get some Lucklanite and kill Emperor Syrah, or otherwise get a planar rift. But there's going to be other parties who are trying to gather the orbs of Lucklanite, like Seru and Kadisha and stuff like that. Will all be attempting to gather it too, so they'll be hunted. Yeah, it is crazy, right? Strahd Temple is so compelling. It is, yeah. We're currently dealing with a shortage of Acrylia ore because Kadisha and the Gremlings recently took over the Acrylia caverns. So the Vashir have lost their regular supply of Acrylia ore, and they were the big traders in that, which has caused a rise in banditry, as both the loyalists of Castellum and the Inquisitors, specifically from the Eye of Seru, their intelligence organization, have been funding bandit organizations to disrupt the Acrylia trade routes in favor of, their own particular cities. And Shadowhaven is just kind of in the middle, suffering from that. Yeah, Elsia. Oh man, you know what's gonna suck? I bet you Corflunk and Zarchumi have their heads. I bet they're lore. So I'll kill one, I'll get 3 heads, and I'll not be able to do anything with them. Be racing against the clock to shuttle them back and forth. Green blood. Okay. I don't know if the green bloods are a pH or if it's just the goblins. But yeah, I read some lore somewhere that those glowing orbs of Lucklanite that are dropped by the raid mobs in EQ are actually a big source of life on Luckland. It's like why there's like grass and stuff. Like these come from the glowing orbs of Lucklanite. They give rise to a lot of the life forms in nature that we see there. So I'm playing into that a little bit. But I'm also conjuring a little bit of like the Zodiac stones from Final Fantasy Tactics with them. They've just started it, but we'll play it as long as we can. I'm gonna be out here for years and years. Straw Temple would be good, but it's gonna take a long time. Like part of me, maybe I should just like accommodate, like scale it to their level, but then part of me is like, nah, screw you, get level 30. 30 is, every level in the tabletop version is 2 EQ levels. Oh, I gotta rebuff myself. Oh, that's right, I got center. Why am I not using center? Dude, I'm such a pleb. How far are you in Evilise Chronicles right now, Taco? Yeah, we use all EQ gear, and the mobs all drop the appropriate EQ gear. So the start of this campaign for them was they were on Kunark. They were part of one of the original High Elven expeditions to try to settle Kunark, one of the ones that failed. And so the boats were all destroyed, and they were just trying to survive on the continent as long as they could to find a way home. And so I had them all roll one magic item to represent the fact that they had been adventurers for some time. And they all got like different, these are like real minor things. I think the best one was like mammoth hide leggings. And now on Luckland, they get legitimate magic items which would drop appropriately from NPCs that they are defeating. Mandalia Plains, dude, come on now. Oh, you're just doing like a, yeah, big grind. Man, I gotta go D-level all of them once you unlock all the classes though, so that you don't, so it's not too easy. I'm encumbered, which means if I start losing a fight and I've got to run, I won't be able to outrun whatever I'm fighting. I'll have to start deleting gear as I strafe. Oh, that looks like the pH right there. It's got, no, it doesn't have Spirit Wolf or anything. Delete. All right, there we go. We're full speed. That looks like it's right now, this thing is running to Corflunk to be a pet, or it's running to Zarchumi, I think. Of course it runs. There it is. Look, dude, I fucking told you. I told you that shaman functions just like a pet. It's like it's basically the same as a golem is to Khazak Thul. That's how you get the cycle. Once you spawn Corflunk, Zarchumi's pH will run directly to Corflunk. And now we just don't kill anything except for these mobs. The problem is I'm very low on mana, and that shaman pH is yellow to me. Probably kill me. And we're gonna try this. And I'm not buffed. Oh, the shaman's not assisting him, is it? Amazing. This is wonderful. I feel like this is like some deep EQ knowledge to know the intricacies of this very weird interaction here. Now, if he spawns again, this shaman will just charge right to Corflunk again. Isn't that crazy? Look at it. It's just wandering around. Like it's right on him. Is it lore? Dude, why we gotta be like that? That's so lame. Well, we've got 30 minutes to get Sarchumi's head and get back over here. The PH time on this is like 50 seconds. We want to get rid of courage. Oh, no. HP buffs, center. I'm sure I'm going to fizzle this and go again for no reason. What is this guy's level? 9. Very doable. He's only 1 level higher than me anyway. No fizzle, that's great. So I need to take these to Bizarre Bloodforge. Do I need both heads? I need both, right? Yeah, I need both their heads. Okay. Better move. That orc runner will tear us up. So we got a Corflunk PH, evidently, right? Because this guy didn't go running off. I think we're probably good enough here. Take one more tick. Alright, yelp. And open with a fur. That's a strong opening there. Wandering Greenblood, that's probably a PH then, right? Can't say for certain, but... I wonder if I'm close enough for him to social. Nick, what's going on, dude? Hey, how are you doing? Eminem has been the topic of the day both times I've streamed lately. Everyone's got so many questions. Nick, it's great to see that this thing that was basically a dream of you guys, for you guys, is coming to fruition finally after all these years. You guys did it right. Didn't take any money. Okay, that's pretty cool. We just got a little... Oh, there's... Is that's just another PH right there. Little clay totem here. Wait, is it... Oh, primary, secondary, only. Terrible. Man, let's take both. Man, this disease is chewing me up. What is this? Sicken? Oh, it's just melee, I guess, was beating me down. That might be both the PHs right there. Or that over there could have been. Yeah, is it a surreal experience to see people playing in your game? Get to be like, this is mine. This is my game. I made this. Like, I didn't just assist. Like, I'm principally responsible for this. Oh, I leveled up after that fight. Shaman aggro. She. He got the sicken off immediately. I guess I don't even have to fight this. Since it's the PH, I could just be dive bombing it into the guards. That's probably what I ought to have done. It's getting spicy over here too. Oh god. DA? Wait, is DA on? Did I resolve it? I did. That was straight up not cool, dude. Now she's gonna spawn. I'm gonna have like no mana, no HP. Yeah, it was really close. I could bandage myself, but I don't get med ticks while bandaging anymore. My goodness. Getting torn up by that dot. I feel like Sicken is doing too much damage. Daydrico, I haven't played at all. Like, I've never ever played Eminem. But I think it's good to have that sort of thing because it raises the skill ceiling. If you want to go really hard for a relatively minor benefit, you can. And I think that's good. I feel like if I cast from the sitting position, I'm more likely to fizzle than if I just stand up really quick and cast after. I'm sure that's just like paranoia. I'm really glad that we caught that goblin pet on stream. That's very cool to have. I feel like I talk about it and people don't believe me because it's so unusual, especially for like little Lobby classic mobs. Man, if I had gone human, I'd really have like no mana. I feel like even with all this wisdom on the dwarf, I'm struggling. 118. High elf would probably be really good, but we'd be doing no damage with melee, and we'd be encumbered all the time. So Corflunk can come over here. We just gotta keep these goblins down. So basically, the thing that decides whether or not you get a regeneration tick for meditating, it happens at a moment, which means you could, a tick is every 6 seconds. You could run around and do stuff, and as long as you sit right at the moment when it's checking to see if you're meditating, you get the full mana tick as though you had been sitting the entire time. Yeah, Chinchilla, is there more than a Fashion Quest reason for why you go High Elf? Or is it just because they look better? Ooh, nice. Encumbered again. Are these rusties? I'm sure they're rusty, right? Oh, I almost deleted that head. Yeah, that'll still sell good. Just go to this greedy vendor here, get this shit moving. One platinum? Yes, please. Sell that. Let me sit while we're vendoring here. A lot of trash loot here. Much better. Alright, where was our goblin that we saw over here? Yeah, that was great. Basically, that one shaman we killed gave us 3 plat. I mean, what is it, like one more cast, though? I know the margins are thin, right? Like one cast, I suppose, could be a big factor. 3 points of damage for fur. I would rather it just had been resisted. I just feel like I've never had it. Oh, Savant. You know which one always gives me the hard time is the Cleric one. Is that the Savant? He drops the enameled black breastplate. That was such a block for me on my Paladin. Paladin obviously has way less nuking potential than the Cleric does. But I fought him for so long, you just can't kill him. Like, he just heals through it. Can a dwarf wear a Minotaur ribcage? Sad. Come on, Zarchini. What are we doing here? I don't think I can do alchemy, right? You have to be a shaman to do alchemy? Unless we're talking about like M&M stuff. Where are goblins? If only there was something that showed me EQ. Some technique to like look at the packets and put it on the screen. For M&M, then you're leveling. Yeah, no trade skills, dude. Have friends do trade skills for you while you level. Okay. A good number of goblins out there. Target acquired. I'm surprised these are still running at 50% when they're still dark blue. Man, my jaw is sore. So the Drama Quest episode I recorded was like right before I started streaming, and that was like a 50-minute monologue, almost an hour monologue, pretty much. I'm not used to talking so much. I talked a lot today at work too. We had a big retirement ceremony. There was a lot of hobnobbing at those. How's the quality been? Bitrate seems solid. I'm assuming not a lot of dropped frames or pixelation today on the stream. Everything nice and crisp. Crispy, love it. Hey Zez, good to see you again, by the way. Ooh, what is this? Weighted gloves? Yeah, lame. I really don't think these Wandering Green Bloods are PHs. I mean, I could be wrong. But we didn't kill a single Wandering Green Blood before we got that Corflung spawn. In fact, all we were killing were Scarabs and Goblins. And I don't think the Scarabs were related. I think it's just the Goblins in this field. I guess it could be different because Nigel is at the crossroads killing everything. I'm pretty sure Corflung's PH is down this way. His Archumi's is up here. Only goblins. Thanks, Rect. Nitz, what's up, dude? Nitz, are you coming back for TSS? Sadly, I don't think I'll be able to do TSS launch, which I really hate because it's like one of my favorite expansions. But I'm gonna be overseas at that time, unfortunately. Goblin there. One path this way. My boy Nizil might take care of that. Oh, we got one here too. Yeah, like 2 weeks away from the Serpent's Spine on Teague. I never really thought about talking to him, Zil. Like, we've talked in stream chats and stuff before, but yeah, I didn't really think about it. Do you think I should? Oh, thanks, Zess. I appreciate you. How is Fallout 76, by the way? I remember, you know, like I never got into it because the launch was so disastrous, and they advertised it as having no NPCs at launch. I know they've added them since, but I was like, I'm not playing an MMO with no NPCs. That sounds terrible. So I'm interested in what you think of it now. It's good now? That's good. A pet would help, so I could do like pet attack, Zarchumi, and Corflunk, and it would alert me with pet track. I think Zarchumi is a higher level than Corflunk, isn't she? Or maybe she's just a shaman and that's why she's harder. Yes, boys, any other Bethesda game? Yeah, Biggs, I felt that way too. But then in the proceedings, reading about how much money they were taking, I mean, I still think it should have just been a cease and desist and let it shut down. But there's a lot that bothers me about it. But the amount of money the devs were receiving, according to the court documents, I think you've got to do something, right? You can't just let people be making $100,000 off your IP. I think a licensing agreement probably would have been the min-max resolution for everybody involved. Everyone still gets their server, Darkpaw doesn't have to do anything, and they make profit. Right, yeah. Yeah, they were making purportedly $100,000 a month. A month, right? It was. Am I misremembering this? Listen, I like those guys. I consider them friends, but profiting on the servers was always a taboo in the emulator community. And when I was originally like going to bat for them, I was like, hey, they're taking like very minor donations. But when I saw the numbers in the court documents, I was like, well, I mean, like, you gotta protect your investment at that point. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Biggs, like, I think a cease and desist maybe could have resolved it. But I think they wanted to make an example, you know what I mean? You hit this one hard and everyone else comes to heal. so you don't have to send out 50 cease and desists. Now they're in arbitration, right? So hopefully they can work things out in arbitration without a massive lawsuit wrecking the lives of those developers. I hope they personally come away unscathed, though I'm sure the legal fees alone have already done tremendous damage to them. And that's what I really hate to see. Right, yeah, Nits. But they kind of looked the way for so long, looked the other way on emulator servers, that people just became more and more brazen and emboldened and thought that, they didn't care and there'd be no consequences, right? And evidently, that was not the case. Yeah, that is absolutely absurd, Biggs. That piece is fucking bonkers. People just streaming it on Twitch. It's like a fucking Nintendo tier move. What's up, Clutch? I wish I could download a house right now. I'm not enthused about the interest rate on home loans at the moment. Yeah, Darwy, the new agreement is strict. It's like anything else. There's natural progression. People take more and more liberties over time, and eventually you got to rein it in, right? This is crazy. I'm seeing no goblins. Where are they at? The respawn time on this shit is like 50 seconds. My dude died 30 minutes ago. / Tarzarchu. Nothing. Yeah, but wasn't Winter's Roar the predecessor to Shart's Dahlia? Or am I getting this wrong? Is that the Hidden Forest? Because Winter's Roar got a cease and desist, apparently. Does it pressure them to step up, or do they get to say, ha, now, like, people will play slop because there's nothing else to play? Which one do we think will occur? What do you think was the cause, Darwy? I wish this tree wasn't here. It's blocking my view. I wonder if these agitated skeletons are messing up the spawn cycle somehow. It's a static camp spawn wizard, I think. Therefore not a PH. Giving this one more minute. All right, folks. It's bedtime for Big Zaide here. So please check out my YouTube channel, join our Discord, and watch the new episode of Drama Quest. Also, in the Discord, we'll post notes sometime soon about the fitness challenge. So get on that with me. We're going to raid our boy Bigger again. It was great seeing you all. And I'm sure I will stream again soon. Oh, this guy attacking me. Nizel, take care of this dude, please. Alright, raid time. Let's get this going. Jump in there. Let's drop some love on Bigger. Alright, time to raid.